Hello and welcome back after a long layoff to the MMA Coach's Corner. I am the fighter, Alexei Scott, joined here by the coach, George Scott. How you doing?
What's going on, Scott Sportscast Nation? It's been a while. Glad to be back. Glad to finally get back to breaking these fights down for you.
Oh, that it is. That it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what happened so far on our UFC 257 predictions. And already a lot of drama just to the weigh-ins here. We had one fighter miss weight, which I guess is not bad compared to his opponent didn't even show up for weigh-in. We had two fighters not even show up to weigh-in. So a couple of these fight cards got scratched. So it was Ottoman, his fight, he did not show up to the weight. And so we have Arman Turkasyan, Tarsajan, take over for him, which Arman missed weight by 1 pound. So he'll now be fighting Michael Vivorla as the main prelim card. So main prelim fight. Also, Matt's opponent missed weight. No, how do you say this one? Nasrat had Hadparat. All right. So he didn't show up either. He's out. So those two are going to fight each other as the main prelim now. So we got Matt versus Arman, even though Arman missed weight. So let's go ahead and get into our first fight. We have Andrew Sanchez taking on Makaz Murado. Now, Sanchez, former Ultimate Fighter winner. This guy's pretty complete. He uses his strikes really well. He mixes them up, throws a lot of kicks, which at the heavier weights, I feel like a lot of people don't do because it's a little more risky. He is very good at top control. So the top control and ground and pound is a little more where he wants to be. As soon as he gets you up against the cage, he likes to use those inside leg trips. So whether it's sticking the leg on the outside and circling out to get the takedown, or just straight going inside the leg and driving forward, those inside trips seem to be his bread and butter. He gets everybody with them. So good chance that he'll land some of these today. But as for his opponent, Muradov, this guy is powerful. This guy is relentless. He's wild. But if he hits you, it's gonna hurt. And when he gets on top of you, he is not gonna stop punching until the ref pulls him off. So interesting matchup we got here. What are your thoughts on this fight?
I'm not too familiar with these fighters here, so it's going to be interesting to see, which one of them catches my attention first in the fight. I like the experience edge that Murdoch brings here, or Murdoch. I'm not sure how to say his name.
Muradov.
Yeah, I really like his experience edge, and I think that experience is going to help him win this fight. I think it'll be a decision. Like you said, wild puncher going up against a more technical fighter usually wouldn't have the edge, but I think that that Andrew here just needs a few more fights, and then he'll be where he needs to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the opposite on this one. I think that the inexperience might actually help Andrew here. I mean, even though he's less experienced, I mean, he's still an Ultimate Fighter winner, and most tough fighters usually go on to do some pretty good things. Some of them may take longer than others to develop, but at the end of the day, I like the versatility. I think this fight is gonna go to the ground, and I do believe that Andrew has the advantage there. So if he gets Muradov pushed up against the cage and is able to utilize those trips, I feel he can control most of this fight. So give me Andrew winning by decision here.
All right, I'm gonna take Murdoff by decision here.
All right. And there is already controversy on the MMA Coaches Corner. Start off a new year right with some push-ups. All right, so our next fight we have is going to be Amanda Ribas versus Marina Rodriguez. This one should be an interesting fight. I don't see it being fight of the night or nothing, but it should be a decent fight. You have Amanda Ribas, who has some really good wrestling and some judo. You come at her a little too aggressive, she will flip you on your noggin. Old Cairo Parisian style. Whenever she does get to the ground, she does have some really good ground and pound. It seems like where she wants the fight to stay, where she feels most comfortable is being in that top position. She does have good control. And on the feet, she's kind of a little patient. She likes to sit back and counter strike a little bit until she can close that distance where she can really start to use that grappling. As for her opponent, Marina Rodriguez, long, likes to strike, bang. She's got really, really good Muay Thai. So used to be a Thai fighter, really loves to get inside that clinch, land some knees, elbows, and really mix up her striking, which, against a judo person may not be the best strategy, but it's one that can overcome it if your Thai is good enough. Because at the end of the day, clinch works. Doesn't matter what you're trying to do in the clinch. It's all about who has the control and who's more dominant in the positioning. Because you can have a really good clinch, but if someone's better, you ain't going to get to do what you want to do. So I just like that Marina is a more well-rounded striker, and she also does have some solid ground game. I would definitely have to give the edge on the ground to Amanda, but Marina here, she just knocked this girl out cold with a straight knee. Like, you don't see that in the women's division too often. So that's some power she's packing in those strikes. I'm going to go ahead and take Marina here by TKO. Who do you got?
Yeah, this one's interesting because you got you got the girl who tapped out Paige Van Zant and sent her out of the UFC, taking on a good Thai fighter. So is Marina going to be able to use that distance? Is she going to be able to use that range, that Thai fighting distance that she can create without getting into grappling range? And I don't know. I kind of feel Rebus here might get this victory just by grinding it out, making it a ground fight rather than a striking fight. I think that she will be able to get the takedowns and get some top control. Probably won't do the most damage, but she'll look for submissions and try to get something done. So give me Rebus here by decision.
As I try to pet the cat. Gone. So anyways, we got, so you're feeling Rebus. Yeah, Rebus definitely has the ground advantage here. But Marina's no slouch either. I mean, both these women are from Brazil, and you know how they love Brazilian jiu-jitsu down there. So you have to learn that before you can do anything else in life, it seems like. um, so yeah, it's really going to be if more of a complete fighter can stay away from more of the specialization fighting style of Amanda. So this will be an interesting one. This will be, so you got Amanda on this one, huh?
Yeah,
And by decision, knockout, or TKO?
by decision.
All right, by decision. Oh, very nice. All right, and on to our next fight. We have the pride of Scotland, the lady with probably some of the most complete game I've seen in a while. Nowhere near the champions, but definitely solid and a great up and comer in Joni Clatterwood. She has really good top control. She will take your back. She will pound you out. She likes the ground and pound. She has submissions. She has striking. It's she's just a really good complete fighter. Maybe not so much off of her back, in the submission game, even though I believe she did snag somebody with a triangle choke. That was a while ago. So at this level, I'm not sure if she'll be able to get that done off her back. But then you got Jessica I, who really likes to use that boxing. She wants to stand and bang. Doesn't really have the most power. She's a volume striker. Hasn't had the best success as of late. I mean, she's had some tough goes at it with some tough women here, especially whenever you fight someone like Valentina. Um, that's not a good matchup for anybody. But she's not great on the ground, but she's okay. I think that this whole matchup just favors Joni Clatterwood. I think that she's going to be able to just kind of mix up the strikes, mix up the pacing, really keep Jessica kind of more on her heels and thinking rather than reacting. Jessica I will slug it out with you though, so don't think you're just going to go put her away nice and easy. It's going to be a scrap. But at the end of the day, I really think that Joni's going to be able to get this one done and just chalk another one up for Scotland here. So I'm going to take Joni by decision.
Yeah, I'm also gonna take Calderwood here. She she's the better boxer. She's a little more technical, a little more powerful. Jessica I throws a lot of volume, but I think it's hard to throw volume when you're actually getting hit. So I
Very
think
hard.
Calderwood's gonna actually hit her and keep those numbers down, and you'll see a big difference in the volume punches from Jessica I. So give me the pride of Scotland here
By decision?
by decision.
All right. Ooh, my battery is low on
But
the
it'd
left.
be a good fight.
Okay, now let's get into the last two fights here. We have Michael Chandler making his UFC debut against another killer, Dan Hooker. And ooh wee, this is gonna be a slobber knocker. I mean, both these guys aren't gonna eat right for a week. So, what do you think about this fight?
Man, this is intense. You gotta hope that Michael Chandler doesn't have the octagon jitters. So you hope that he comes in and is able to perform up to his level, because he's going to need to against a guy like Dan Hooker.
uh, yeah, one thing, both these men have knockout power. Both these men have great boxing. Both these men are just relentless once they hurt you. Um, I don't really see this fight going to the ground unless it, someone gets hurt and then, needs a breather. But both men really good on top too. So if you fall, they're just going to keep pounding you out. The one thing that I will say that I do like about Dan Hooker a little bit more is he does utilize those really long arms, and he'll sink in things like a standing guillotine. So if you're in the clinch and you're just hanging your head, leaving your neck out there willy-nilly, then he's just going to take his elbow and put it underneath your Adam's apple and choke you out.
Yeah.
And that's where the danger comes in grappling with tall fighters. This one's going to be who lands first. I think that Michael Chandler may have a little bit of that UFC jitters, but I don't think that that's even going to matter. I think Dan Hooker's on a terror, and I think he's going to continue the terror. But by submission of the night, I think that Michael Chandler's going to be caught up in the moment, and it's going to leave him open where Dan Hooker can just slip in one of those chokes and be able to get the tap. So I'm going to go with Dan Hooker on this one by submission.
Nice. I think I'm gonna pick Michael Chandler on this one. I think that he comes in, maybe has a rough first round or close first round, but then really gets into the fight and wins the next 2 rounds. I think it'll be a decision, but I think that Michael Chandler will use that wrestling in order to get into some good top position, land some good damage, and do enough to win on the cards. It may not be the most impressive performance by him, but it'll be one that gets the job done.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going Michael Chandler by decision.
It is very possible. All right. So that brings us to the main event of the evening. We got Dustin Poirier, Diamond, versus Conor McGregor, Notorious. And what should be my expectation to be fight of the night if it doesn't end too soon. We all know Poirier, a killer, a finisher. This guy's got power. This guy's got technical striking. And we have Conor. With Conor. Some of the most knockouts in the UFC history. This guy finishes fights. He hurt you, it's a wrap. I know Conor's got good wrestling, but the way that you kind of take away Conor McGregor is to step him up against the cage a little bit, take away and, make his arms and his legs a little heavier. But even then, that probably won't work. So Conor always comes in shape, he comes in ready, and he comes in willing to fight. This one's going to be amazing, but I think we're going to see a repeat of what happened the first time. And I think that Conor McGregor is going to go ahead and win this fight. I don't know if it'll be by TKO or knockout. I hope it is, but I think that we're going to see. Oh,